Okay, so after the Civil War, formerly enslaved Black Americans were promised 40 acres and a mule. But did that really happen? Today, we're diving into the real story of Black land ownership. Okay, how it started, the struggles that came with it, and the powerful legacy it left behind. If you're new here, I'm Joelle Bell, mortgage professional. I'm dedicated to helping families build generational wealth through homeownership. Okay, this Black History Month, I'm exploring the history of Black homeownership in America. So hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more. Okay, so let's start in 1865. The Civil War had just ended, and millions of formerly enslaved Black Americans were trying to figure out how to survive in a country that had denied them freedom for centuries. So Union General William T. Sherman issued a special field Order number 15, which set aside land in Georgia and South Carolina specifically for Black families, right? Each family would get up to 40 acres of land, sometimes with access to an army mule, okay? This was the first real chance for newly freed Black Americans to own land and build wealth. But there was one big problem. After President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, his successor, Andrew Johnson, overturned the order completely. The land was taken back and returned to former Confederate plantation owners. So that promise, it was broken before it could even begin. Okay, so we started on a bad foot. But even though that promise was taken away, Black Americans didn't give up on land ownership. Some were able to buy land through the Homestead Act, okay, which allowed people to claim land in the West. So this is how towns like Nicodemus, Kansas, a Black settlement founded in 1877, were created. So Nicodemus was a beacon of hope, okay? It had Black-owned businesses, schools, and farmland, all built by formerly enslaved people looking for a fresh start. By 1910, Black farmers owned over 15 million acres of land across the country. This was a major accomplishment. While some were able to buy land, many Black families were forced into sharecropping. So this was a system where farmed land was owned by white landlords in exchange for a share of the crops. But it often led to cycles of debt and poverty. Banks also refused to lend to Black farmers, and racist policies made it almost impossible to get fair loans or land grants. But still, Black Americans persisted because Black land meant independence, security, and the ability to pass wealth to the next generation. See, they got it. They got it. Okay. The early journey of Black land ownership was filled with both promise and disappointment, but it also showed the incredible resilience of Black Americans. This is just the beginning of our Black homeownership series. Next week, we'll talk about the rise of redlining and how it shaped the housing market for decades. You don't want to miss it, okay? If you found this valuable, make sure you like it, subscribe it, share it with someone who should hear this history, okay? And if you're looking for resources on homeownership today, check the description below. Hit me up. I'm here. I'm ready. We could get it going now. All right. Have a blessed week.